Hello, friends. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the channel. Today, we are going to learn how we are going to install SQL Server. Okay, so we are going to not exactly go on a client system. I'll show you on my system through a virtual machine. I'm going to create a virtual machine, and then I'll not show you how to create because yeah, the VM that I'm using that is already installed, but I'll just create OS on that VM. We are going to take one virtual machine, then we'll install the OS there. So similar way, we are going to see some other things that we have to do on a client machine. So before we install SQL Server, we have to do some checks. See, right? We have to first connect to the client system, like we have to RDP to their system. We have number of ways to connect to client system. So I have been using secure link. We use secure link connections to connect to client systems. Then we'll get into their system and then we'll check if they have all the requirements there. So we'll RDP to their system and check. Now what do we check? We can check some basic things like do they have space, they install, do they have the required CPU sufficient enough to support the speed required. So the backend that we are installing now is the SQL part. The client will already have the applications running, but they want us to install the SQL Server so that their data is captured in our SQL Server databases. So the front end is their application, the back end is the SQL part. Now, if you want the applications to run at a good speed, obviously you have good CPU on your SQL Server. You have to have good number of space. You have to have good amount of RAM. These are all performance parameters that we will discuss later. But when we come to checks, again back to checks, we'll see if we can RDP to the server. Just try to see if you can RDP to the server where you want to get the installation done. Just see if you have enough space, if you have the sufficient CPU. Then see if they have the required .NET, you know, .NET pack that is required. So then comes the main ones. Discuss with the client which version they would like to go with. Different versions of SQL Server are available. Now, which one do they want? Obviously, the version. Then we have the next one that is edition. Which edition do they want to go? So this edition and version, we have to go on a call with the client, involve the IT, then we have to discuss no for this one so application this type of SQL is supported, we better to purchase this. We'll go on a bridge call and we'll give our guidance. The client will also make up his call and he will finally confirm with the Microsoft sales team. He will get in touch with Microsoft sales team and they will plan on which version they have to purchase. Now the purchasing obviously depends which version they want to go with. It will the price will also depend. So let me show you this. We have different types of versions here. See, SQL Server started long back. I would say there are other versions before 2005. There's 2000. There's 2003 also. There maybe even before that they could be. But SQL Server became a hit only after 2005. From 2005, SQL was 2005 was released. Then Microsoft released 2008. Then they released 2008 R2. Then came 2012 version. Then came 2014 version, 2016 version, 17, 19, 22 is yet to be launched. This one is yet to be launched. Anytime soon they will release this. Okay. So then we have the editions also. We have the enterprise edition, standard edition, developer edition, evaluation, express edition. Then there are other editions like work group edition. We have work group also we have. Then we have workstation, workstation. So we have even other editions that are available. The main ones that we are working with are these ones, main ones. So now client will have to decide which version he wants to go with. See, 2012, 2008, 2005, these are already removed. No support is given by Microsoft on these versions. Okay, so you can't install these versions on production. 2012 support ended, I think, recently. But if clients do have 2012 servers, Microsoft has given them, security enhancement tags. So they have got extended support. They have to purchase with a higher rate. So they will give support for another 2 3 years. Then this will totally be out. They will no longer give support to 2012. So extended support is given for all the versions. Even 2008, when it was being depreciated, they gave extended support also, like 2 3 years. They gave 2012. They are giving now. So this will go out in another 2 3 years. It will not be recommended for production environments. Then we have these others that are currently being used now in full fledged. Okay, so we have to select which version and which edition. So each version, if I say SQL Server 2012 version, it will have again different editions. We have Enterprise Edition, we have the Standard Edition, we have the Developer Edition, we have the Workgroup Edition, we have the Express Edition. Each edition has its own use. The highest edition is this. So for production, normally they will use Enterprise Edition and Standard Edition. The others are Developer Edition and learning thing. Then this those are not recommended for production. Production, they will always recommend Standard Edition and Enterprise Edition. You take any version, 2014 also, you have to go with Standard or Enterprise Edition. 2016, same. So what about the other editions? They have their own use, like Express Edition, Enterprise Edition. I mean, sorry, Express Edition and Express Edition. This developer editions. These are all, they can be used for development. They can use for student training. Yeah. So we have to plan which edition and which version we have to go. That is also part of the checks. So I have selected for this video. I'm going with the 2016 evaluation version. Evaluation means trial version. So they'll give 30 days trial for evaluation. You can download this SQL Server OS and have a trial for 30 days. After 30 days, it will ask you for license. You have to enter the license. So you have to check this. But see, when I say I'm using this for evaluation because I'm giving a training now, but in production I said we have to go for either enterprise edition or standard edition. The highest edition in these two is the enterprise edition. Obviously, it will cost more than the standard. All the features available in standard are there in enterprise, and there are other additional features. But all the features in enterprise are not available in standard. So this is more costly. It is more recommended for production. But yeah, not basically that. Production, which one you want to select, that depends on the usage and all that. So next, we'll directly go and set up. So I have given the link to download SQL Server 2016 and try. So I'll put this in the description so you guys can download and install and try. Okay. So I'm going to quickly open a VM box. So this is VMware Workstation Pro. I'm going to create a new virtual machine. Let me power this on. I'll press any key. I've already given the setup location. So let's see if it takes this thing timeout. I'll try to do it again. Let's wait for some time. So let me just pause the video for a while so that we don't drag this longer. Oh, here you go, guys. I didn't do anything. I just waited for some time and it started. So when it says timeout, it's just trying to ping with that setup file. It's trying to reach out to that setup file, but it was not able to. So it waited. It's trying to continuously ping, try to get that file. Then once it gets that file location, it will install. So it is just taking some time. So here we are going with 2016, and it is asking me to select the language to install the time zone. Time zone. Let me see if I can select you can select based on where you're located. Then keyboard, I'll use the US keyboard. Then I'll say install. Or setup is starting. It may take some time here because it is trying to, it will unpack that setup file. It will install those startup files. It will try to install those all those beginning files. Then we'll have the actual screens coming up. See, so now it is telling me to select the operating system. Do you want to select 2016 standard evaluation? Do you want to select 2016 standard evaluation with desktop experience? When it says desktop experience, see, it says this option is useful when a GUI is required, for example, to provide backward compatibility for an application that cannot be run on a server core installation, or server rows and features are supported. So if you want a GUI experience, you have to select this. If you don't want a GUI experience, you can work with PowerShell, then you go for this. Okay. Then same applies for this is 2016 standard evaluation version. This is 2016 data center. These are different editions. So I'm going to go for 2016 standard evaluation with desktop experience because I want to show the GUI view. Click next. So I'll accept the license terms. Click on next. Here we have two options. Which type of installation do you want? Do you want to just upgrade or you want to install Windows only? Now see what it says down here. The files, settings, and applications are moved to Windows with this option. This option is only available when a supported version of Windows is already running on this computer. And this one, it says if you want to make changes to partitions and drives, start the computer using installation disk. We recommend backing up your files before you continue. Okay. The file settings and applications are in move to Windows with this option. So this says this option is only available when a supported version of Windows is already running on the computer. But we don't have anything running on this because it's a VM, it's a newly created VM. So I'm going to go with the custom. Now here, I hope you remember we selected a 30 GB drive, which is unallocated, and I'm going to create this as the disk. Where do you want to install Windows? So I'm going to install it on this disk. Okay. So it's now installing Windows. We'll give it some time. So friends, this is finishing and it is asking for a reboot. So we'll give some time so that the VM reboots. So this is how you're going to install your Windows Server. So for in our case, we have installed Windows Server 2016. Okay. Now it is asking for administration administrator password. I'm going to give a password. Then I'll click on finish, and there we go. There we go. We have our server installed. Guys, we have our server installed. Now on this, we are going to install our SQL Server instances. The default instance, then names instances we can create up to a certain point of instances. That we'll look into it in our next video. Thank you everyone for watching. Have a good day. Bye bye.